You know that you can actually download the WWE app on through the Android. What is it called? The Google Plus. That shit is crazy. Like, and this WWE app is fucking. What's good, my people? It's your boy, Big Chris 145, aka the Compton Animator. Yeah, more WWE app shit tonight, so had to do a little joke on that shit real quick. Um, another week of wrestling, so here we go. This is my WWE Raw review for November 4th, 2013. Keep making sure that's the right date. Pretty decent show tonight. The show actually kicks off with CM Punk coming out to the ring, not cutting no promo or nothing, getting straight off to a match. You hear his music and big pop from the crowd. Then you see the Wyatt's family come to the ring, no promo from them either. Just music come to the crowd and they're set up and getting ready to fight. Pretty good match here between CM Punk and Luke Harper of the Wyatt family. A lot of nice spots here. You had one where Luke Harper was trying to go for a big boot on CM Punk in the corner, and he totally misses it, like full on misses it and flies out the ring. Then CM Punk did an outside dive after that, and then another good one is he dived into Luke Harper and made him hit the announcer's table. That was pretty good. You had a big boot to CM Punk when CM Punk was jumping off the ropes. That was pretty good. And also CM Punk delivering a DDT, a tornado DDT from the second rope. So that was pretty good. So yeah, it was a pretty good match right here. Ended up with Luke Harper being rolled up by CM Punk and CM Punk getting a win here. So, not a definite win, like, a definite pin for him, but, a roll up is pretty good to start their feud with. After the match, the other member of the tag team part of the Wyatt family attacks CM Punk, and then Bray Wyatt gets in the ring to start attacking CM Punk, and then you have the crowd start chanting yes, and Daniel Bryan comes out and basically he comes out with a chair and starts fucking people up. Before he can even hit Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt kicks him, and then Bray Wyatt get ready to attack him, and CM Punk goes after Bray Wyatt with the chair, but never gets to hit him because Bray Wyatt ducks it out. So then they, dispose of the two tag team parts of the Wyatts, and you just have Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family looking at the CM Punk and Daniel Bryan in the ring, looking like badasses, and just looking back and forth and do anything. So yeah, another pretty good part of the ending right there. A nice start to their beginning of their feud. It makes me wonder. What I was gonna say. It makes me wonder how long they're gonna have this feud going on for. Who's behind the Wyatts attacking these two guys, and it also makes me wonder whether or not their match at Survivor Series is going to be the main event, because you got your two biggest faces in the WWE besides John Cena, but you got your two biggest faces in the WWE, especially with the internet crowd and the just general fan base, behind these two guys against some of your most intriguing heels right now. So yeah, pretty good opening segment here. After that, we got a backstage segment from CM Punk talking to, what's her name? Renee Young. And, he's just basically telling them that, he's not the only person that got a problem with the Wyatts and stuff. Let's see. They're talking about an app segment for Dolph Ziggler. Not Dolph Ziggler. Randy Orton facing one of three guys, either Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, or Big E Langston. People have to vote for that. And then they're talking about, the next match was, not the next match, but, let's go on from now. I don't even want to talk about that right now. Okay, so before the next match, you had a backstage segment on the WWE app where, what's his name, Ryback was bullying the Hornswoggle, the little leprechaun guy. And then, I'm sorry, people, I'm a little bit tired. I had a long-ass day. So it's going to take me a minute to just get myself through this whole show. It was a pretty long show, too. Bullying Hornswoggle, Santino came out and said something to him. Then Khali said something to him. So they was like, oh, fuck it, let's go have a match. Pretty okay, whatever match with Ryback versus Khali. Nothing really crazy here. Just Ryback and stiff ass and Khali stiff ass just walking around the ring hitting each other, and match ends with a meat hook clothesline. I guess that's what he says it is to Khali, and Ryback pins him. And then he does something with both Santino and Hornswoggle after the match. So, it's whatever. Nothing big here. I can talk about this right now since it's the first time they're talking about it. Throughout the night, they did segments with the announcers where they're talking about Big Show and what's his name? Big Show and Triple H whole little feud thing they're having. So throughout the whole fucking night, they were going through just segments of showing everything that's been happening up to now, and they did it like here, they did it again a little bit, about a match or so later. Then they did it again after that and stuff, and it was just because I think if you do this for 2 segments, it's okay, but beyond that, it's just too much. I mean, then they recapped what they talked about like before the end of the night, and I was like, oh my god, this is a lot just for Big Show and Triple H, which we've been seeing throughout the whole last few weeks. So they gave us that. But the next match we had was Kofi Kingston versus Alberto Del Rio. Pretty cool little match here. A lot of energy with both guys. It seemed that I think Alberto Del Rio tired himself out by the end, by I say mid match, because he was looking a little like low stamina there. But Alberto Del Rio comes out with a win, making Kofi Kingston tap. So pretty good match right there. Next, we have Randy Orton versus the Fans' Choice Big E Langston. Before the match, Randy Orton cut a promo. I kind of like this promo for Randy Orton. This is something I wish he would have did more. He was basically talking shit to the crowd, saying how all the men out there want to be me and all the women out there want to be with me, type of thing. Just putting down the crowd and shit like that. So it was a pretty funny little segment there. Actually, a really nice match here between Randy Orton and Big E. Big E looked very nice here, and Randy Orton, even though Randy Orton ends up coming out with the win here off an RKO, what do you call it? A counter, like he reversed his Big E's finisher into an RKO. It was still a pretty good showing by Big E and didn't make Big E look weak at all. It's just that Randy Orton's the world champion, so he's going to go over like that. So it was a pretty nice match there. After that, I don't know if I'll talk about this now because I don't know if it happened when it happened. I don't really see it in my little notes, but they did a phone call segment with Paul Heyman, and basically Paul Heyman talked about how he's after being beat up by CM Punk, he's in Europe being helped out and stuff. The segment didn't really work for me because it sounded recorded, and I guess it was supposed to sound like they were doing it live. It would have been better if it wasn't just a phone on the screen. If it was actually Michael Cole, doing a screen to screen thing with Paul Heyman. They could have had Paul Heyman record something, the night of Hell in a Cell, and say have him, just made up and stuff like that, and then that's a good way to put him off for a while. But and just have it play tonight like it actually happened via satellite tonight. But it just didn't work. It really didn't work at all. And the next thing that we had was Fandango and Summer Rae versus the returning Tyson Kidd and his wife Natalya Neidhart. Another pretty okay match here. Tyson Kidd really nice here, and Fandango really nice here. Summer Rae did her thing, Natalya did her thing. It ends with Tyson Kidd putting a sharpshooter on Fandango for the win. Nice return for Tyson Kidd. He looked healthier than ever. Got a new spring in his step. I think even new tights here. So hopefully they can do something with him, and hopefully if they do put Natalya versus AJ Lee, they kind of use him in there as well. This would have been way better when she was with Dolph Ziggler to have him come back then, but whatever. So let's see, what else did we have? Okay, after that we had a backstage segment with Damian Sandow and Renee Young, and Damian Sandow cutting a nice little promo here talking about how his just same thing he basically said on SmackDown was that his objective right now is to beat John Cena, and then Zep Culture came out and basically saying their objective is to beat the WWE Tag Team Champions right now, and the Rose Dynasty, and basically cut a promo together by themselves. And then John Cena comes out to the ring after the commercial, and he basically, I don't know if you can call it a promo, but he basically, yeah, it's a promo. He cuts a promo talking about the Susan G. Coleman cancer thing that they're doing right now, and telling everybody how he's happy that everybody's doing it, and that the whole thing with all the selling of the merchandise will go on throughout to the end of this year. So pretty okay segment, both things. John Cena, the salesman that he is, and the good guy that he is, doing his thing for cancer or whatever. And then after that, we got a match with John Cena and the Rose Dynasty versus Damian Sandow and the Real Americans. Just like their match on SmackDown, a really good match here. Not too much to be said from this. We also had Zep Culture and Alberto Del Rio on the comment table, and they were pretty funny at the start of the match and towards the middle. And as usual, Michael Cole, JBL, and King just tear shit down, and they don't let it, have a natural flow, especially with the commentating. They keep talking shit and talking shit and talking shit, and I think it's them. To tell the truth, I think it's with Michael Cole and JBL. As much as I like their playfulness sometimes, a lot of times when you put other people on that table, it is just not a good mix. Because they want to have fun and just, talk shit and, just keep going, barbing, and it just doesn't really work sometimes. Zep Culture was pretty cool here. Alberto Del Rio was good through the beginning of the match. Just with Alberto Del Rio's talking until they kept bringing up the gringo stuff and bringing up, when he calls them dog in Spanish and stuff like that, and just trying to be over and over again with Alberto Del Rio's lines and stuff. So yeah, that was whatever on the comment table, but a good match inside the ring here, just like on SmackDown. It got a good amount of time. Cena actually showed up a few new moves here. It ends with the Cena and the Rose Dynasty winning here. After, who does Cena pin? I believe he pins Cesaro. Yeah, he pins Cesaro. No. Goldust pins Cesaro. I'm tripping. Goldust actually does his final cut move on Cesaro and pins him, which I forgot that move was similar to Cody Rhodes' finisher. But yeah. So I don't want to make this video too long, so let's keep going. So during the match, Cesaro ends up running into Culture, and so he bumps into Culture on the chair and stuff. Cena basically lets him run into him because he moves out the way while Cesaro tries to attack him. So they do more Big Show shit. Oh no, we see Big Show actually walking in backstage in a suit, and Triple H is talking to Vicky, and Vicky's telling him that Big Show's here, and then Stephanie comes in, they start talking about it, and just have a whatever backstage segment there, just talking about why is Big Show here, and the board is basically the board basically said they need to handle this, and they don't want it to go to court and stuff like that, normal corporation type stuff. So from there, they basically said, I think it was here, I don't know when, but I'll say it, everything that happens in these little segments. Basically, he tells Vicky to go and tell the Big Show that they want to meet him in his office, and then later on in the night, Vicky comes back and says that Big Show wants to meet in the ring, and they say, you know what, forget it, let's meet in the ring, basically. So next we had Dolph Ziggler versus Curtis Axel, the returning Curtis Axel off of his bullshit not showing up on Hell in a Cell to get his ass whipped by Big E. Supposed injury that he had, but Dolph Ziggler nicely puts him away in an okay match. Supposedly on main event, Curtis Axel and Big E's going to have a match. I'm not sure if it's for the title or not. It should be, in Big E should win that belt. But yeah, Dolph Ziggler wins here. Backstage, I believe this is when Daniel Bryan's talking to Renee Young. I'm not sure, but we can say it is. He talks to Renee Young and basically says the same thing CM Punk says. Next, we have a quick match between the Usos and two members of the 3MB. And the Usos put them away. Nothing. It's not a slow match. It's a pretty quick paced match. Just a quick match to put them away. Usos win. Then we have Bellas and Eva Marie versus AJ Lee and Tamina and Oksana. I didn't really like this Divas match too much. Only person that got any cheering was AJ, and Bellas was okay here. Tamina was okay here. Oksana was useless here, and Eva Marie only thing good about Eva Marie tonight was that she got a new outfit instead of that horrible white suit wrestling attire that she was wearing at first. She looked good here, like I say. So she stood on her apron most of the time, got hit by Tamina, and tagged herself in and come in for the roll up on Tamina and gets the win. So I don't know what to say about that. She didn't do one move but a roll up through the whole match, and she gets the victory over a big girl like Tamina, who should be in a bigger place than fucking Eva Marie in this business. But whatever. So, commercial break, and let's see. Okay, yeah, so basically that was the Divas match was the main event match of the show, so go figure. No, it wasn't, because they had one more match. Okay, so it was kind of the main event match of the show, but we get Big Show being called out to the ring after Triple H and Stephanie come to the ring. He's being called out saying, come out here and let's talk about this. The Big Show and Triple H talk back and forth, and they say, just tell us what you want. Big Show says he wants his job back. They give him his job back. He says he wants a bonus, and they're like, what the hell, fuck your bonus and all this other shit. And Big Show's like, you know what, fuck it, I just want a title match. And I think even after he said that, the Shield comes down, they go to commercial break, and they come back, and Big Show, I think that's when Big Show tells him that he wants a title match. Triple H says hell no, and Big Show starts to walk away. Triple H says, you know what? Big Show was like, I will walk away, but I'll see you in court. Triple H says, you know what? Fuck it, you can have your dumbass title match. Triple H says it like 6 times or some shit. That kind of dragged it on a little bit. I think if he would have said it like, oh, what you say? He said it once and then ran to the, walked to the ring and didn't go to Triple H and say, okay, what did you just say? That's okay, but to have him say it over and over and over again kind of, brought a segment that was pretty okay down a little bit. What pushed the segment back up was, Triple H saying, okay, you know what? Since you're back, that means we can put you in a match. So, Big Show now in a match while he's in his suit against the Shield and Randy Orton, who's all going to be in a ring at the same time. So they continue to try to beat up on the Big Show when they start the match, which I guess this is now the main event. And Big Show fights him off, and it's getting cool, whatever you say it. I'm fighting him off right now, and looks like he may end up winning. That's when you hear Kane's music and the explosion happens, and Kane walks down in a suit, no mask, no nothing. So that was pretty interesting to see. We'll see where they go with this from here. But it kind of distracts Big Show, and Big Show, I believe, something happens to him. Then he gets RKO'd, and then they start beating him up, and Kane starts throwing chairs into the ring. Start beating up Big Show with chairs, put him on the outside. Kane never touches him the whole time. And then they put him, they hit him with the chairs and hit him with the stairs, and then put him through the table. So basically beat the shit out of Big Show here. It was a okay segment here. Nothing too great here, and Daniel Bryan has the Wyatt's to worry about, so I guess he wouldn't come out to help Big Show out here. I think the biggest problem here is the things that they did with the Big Show. Everything else with the Authority was cool. Big Show here, he kind of did little heelish things, that didn't work fully with me. It was just, I think they was working if he didn't try to, beat it in so much. It kind of act a little bit more like a good guy, saying, you know what, this is all I want. I'm not gonna try to get back at you. Just give me what I want. That would have been kind of cool here to see him, Big Show, take the, stand up and say, okay, I'm gonna be a man here. I'm not going to try to beat you down with this type of stuff, but I'm gonna be the bigger guy here. That would have been better to see than what Big Show actually did. It kind of felt more heelish here. Even though I like faces who do a little bit more heel things, this felt more vindictive and not like, oh, I'm a good guy. I'm just trying to, help my family, and I can care less about getting back at you. I just want what I deserve. Been here 18 years. This is what I deserve, and that's how it should have been handled. So like I said, it was a okay show tonight. It is just a crazy long show. I'm not sure if it was because I already had a long day, or was just that it was just too much thrown on the show all at once, and just 3 hours kind of got to me, whatever. But I wouldn't say it was a bad show tonight. It was a decent show. There's been worse Raws than this, and there's been a way better Raws than this. So it was just average. But I would give it probably a C plus. It wasn't really bad or anything. It was just average. So yeah, you can find me on the internet anywhere at BigChris145. You can find me at Compton Animator anywhere. I'll put my website link in down there, and I'll put my Twitter link down there. Hit me up on Twitter. Subscribe. If you want to see my videos, subscribe. Other people have asked me whether or not am I going to do videos for other shows. I kind of not sure. I don't really like to review even though WWE stuff is a real TV show and I look at it like a TV show, I don't really like, because I watch mainly like animation and stuff like that. I don't like to review that type of stuff. I did one, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it again. But sometimes I don't like to review those other things because I work in the industry, and I don't want somebody to look at and say, oh, he's talking shit about our show, when I'm just giving a general critique. So I'm not sure if you want me to review other shows, tell me what show you want me to review, and or tell me you want me to review other shows, and I'll tell you what shows I watch, and y'all can pick one or two, and I'll review those. So hit me up Twitter, hit me up in the comments, subscribe, like, dislike, whatever. Thank you for watching. Peace.